let us just conclude the maamer, and that's it. Conclude it, then start the next maamer. To review it properly, it will be another few days. And for that, we have, thank God, the recordings. One of the recordings a few days ago, like without using, not in the text, but it's kind of encapsulated the essence of the Chiddush of the maamer. So that's worth listening to if you didn't. So let us do let's face Yud. Zeho, which is a summary, in a sense, in addition to what he adds to the whole maamer. So you and your children will live with the prophet, meaning that's the koiches pnimium, the conscious faculties of the neshama, seichel and midas. So they'll be suffused and charged, but noiser with the revelation of the koiches makifim, chayin yechidet shuvilo shuvatator. That's all part of the kelim reikim that he explained earlier. To dargis and kelim reikim al tamiti. The basic question of the maamer was that if a yid is operating on the level of higher than koiches pnimium, the koiches pnimium are completely nullified and irrelevant. If it's mitzvahs nefesh and bittul, that it's not love, it's not awe, it's not understanding. So how do the twain connect? So it's the yichud of bligvul and gvul, essentially. This basic answer is bekoicha atzmos, and that's a lochia that is given by Matan Torah all directly to likecha. And hence, if anochi is invested directly in the likecha, even through the koiches gvulium and the conscious koiches of a person there is invested atzmos, and the person connects to atzmos, and there is present atzmos, and there is present therefore etzem neshama, which means etzem is present anyway. We're talking the gilui of the etzem. It means, this is an important sentence, that the ava and the yira is because it's your choice. You want ava v'yira. That's its maila. So that is the meaning, therefore, of is that clear? Shagam, say in the words of the maamer, that even the conscious levels of the neshama yichyu become alive. The ava v'yir, which the neshama had l'mayla, in other words, was I love you and I'm in awe of you. The chiddush of coming lamata, dafka of the yoshes cheshech sisra, matzav of cheshech, which we're not responsible for. The Yibishter did this. Coming into a guf, he's not to mekabel the Torah and the etzem and the neshama. And the love and the awe that we have here is be'ein darech to love and all the maila, because there it's I love and I'm in awe. It's all in giluyim and it's all locked into mitzias, the mitzias of the neshama. Etzem neshama is not unlocked the maila. It can't be. It's blinded by the light. Etzem bilti mizgala is, it's true, all those say the shtalshalos. The pel is where, yes, mizgala, quote unquote, not the same kind of giloy shtalshalos, but present and pulsating is dafka lamat. It's the whole chiddush of life, of the whole purpose of life. So the koiches makif in the transcendent, which translates to Eidin Tzaf Lamayla, Kesed, Pnimis HaKesed, Ketzenis HaKesed, which naturally have no shaychus to shtalshalos. These levels, however, lamata and a guf by a yid, and noich havai likecha are present. All the chiddush, even though the noich havai likecha classically means that anoich is filtered through havaya, there was machadish know that here noich havai likecha means anoich directing likecha. Just like tshuva, it doesn't mention havai likecha, shanoich mitzav chayim, which is also given in Matan Torah, and therefore tshuva permeates all the mitzvahs. Gewaltige chidushim that need to be really unpacked and by giving those who know Chassidus really appreciate the tremendous condition of this maamer, particularly the last few years. But continuing in the words of the maamer, Akam Shanoiser from Makiev, Noiser, we explained the Shirayim, it means left over because it's beyond, virtuously left over. Shirayim the Kedusha. We say Mezusha Makif Arochet, we identify the two dargis. Makif Arochet, that Yechida, What's Yichid have to do with Seichel and Ava? Nimshech and Menu, Chai is Gamma Kirchas Aprimis and Neshama. Nonetheless, from these Kirchas Makifim, which naturally have, in the face of which Kirchas Pnimim are insignificant and irrelevant, there is a Chayis. Yadei Tshuva Mizgala, because through Tshuva, which is the Kelim Reikim Al Tamiti, that's the Tshuva. Shama comes the Mata, it's all Avedis Tshuva. There's two here. There's the Maimer, the present one, and the new one. It's Galish Anoichi Lekecha Anoichi. Matzav Chayoim is invested, the Atzmos is invested in Lekecha, meaning Keichacha B'Chayisecha, in Keiches Pnimim. So the Seichel of the Yid, or the Av of the Yid, is not just classically a Nivra that loves God and all of God and understands God. The Seichel, he's saying the Keiches Pnimim of the Yid, that they have through his coming Lamata, through his Bittul, through his facing his own Cheshech, and meaning facing his own true Metzias I am a Yid, because I have no mindless. So in the I am a Yid is this God of the Atzmius of a Yid, and therefore that Atzmius is expressed in his so-called mindless. So what are all these mindless? Because you want these mindless. It's a whole different mindless. To make it clear, Shama's lament came down. What happened to me? Maila had this rapturous love for you. So then Sham comes out Lamata, and it happened to me. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. And now, so what is left? Osach Shemen, Amiyid, and Kud Atzmis. So what's this Gala now? What happened to me? The whole me is gone. So now the Av and Yida is now it's your Av, it's your Yida. These milas are because you want my love and you want my all, you want my Seichel. That's a Deher Neshama does that in the mind. You want my love and not my Seichel. My Seichel understands you. It's Giloyim. Neshama is locked there into the Metzias, into its Metzias of it all, rapturous love for God. What happened down here is you lose the Metzias, which is an independence. Yoshes Cheshech Sisrei. And from there, Aven you. Why? Because you want that, you want to you want to be part of my little heart, my little brain, my little understanding. Therefore, that's everything. It's tichib and noise. That learning and that feeling, it's not the same in the mind. There it's lichtig, it's oil. But here it's atmistic. This learning and this little feeling that Yid has is atzmistic, because you want it. It's no longer self, it's all you. That's what is achieved in the kavan of Neshama coming to Mata. Yeah, it's a brief summary of it all, they're kind of clear. So he said that the Keiches Pnimim access not just Stam Makif, which is Kabbalah's oil permeates, Juvatato permeates Keiches Pnimim. The Seichel is suffused with Kabbalah's oil. Even higher than Makif Harochek, the Atzmizical levels of the Neshama permeate the Seichel, which is again, in words translates that why Seichel? Because you want, that's it. That's its Mailu. Because you were Boicher. You crave for my Seichel. Shadal can say, I'll understand, if I'll feel. So Mekomokim, nonetheless, even though it's Rochik, it's Makif, it's Nimshich, remember Chais, Gamal Kirchis, Primis Aneshama, because Kagidea Tshuva, Tshuva, which is the Kelim Reikim Al Tamiti, Misgalash, Anoichi, or the Kercha, the Kirchach B'Chayisach. There's this Bal Yosef test being when inflation in Cha. Like we said before, that for a year, when inflation. Here now comes a subtle distinction here. This statement that's not wanders from you means through the desire to do tshuva, which is consciousness. So therefore, the that's a statement that simply says you can. It's not such big, not so subtle, pretty straightforward. Lady Face is a statement. You can reach Keiches Pnimim. You can. And the statement, this is the fact, that you and your children will live with the Noisim Shal Keiches Pnimim Chayim V'Chayis Pnimi. Not only you can, it's the actualization of it. That the Keiches Pnimim are energized with the Chayis Pnimi, which means in their world of Seichel and Midas, from the Keiches Makifim. Bli gvul in gvul. Havayu hu likim. When I said the makif hakodev, v'gam I said the makif haroche. Yesh leimesh benoiser nichol gam be'etzem shalamayim maged the makif hapnimi. And my question was this yesh leimesh is not tangential. That's the whole good because it's the etzem. That's why the makif hapnimi can unite. So I don't know the answer to that. To relearn the whole thing, just tweak something that I call part. The union is the union. Just to understand that square brackets. Square brackets means you could remove it, and it's the union has been stated, but that's really the core of it. Let's conclude the mind, connect this and finish Razal brought earlier in the mind of the Apostle. When will you live? When do you live the Noiser? Why? Because that's amazing the shleimus of the Gilead, all that we're talking about. Same thing, the guf is mamash gvul, and the guf will be enlivened. Chai is gashmi from kochas makifim. That's the fusion of bli gvul and gvul. The shleimus, the guf mamash, not just the neshama, kochas pnim, mamash the guf. But so through this Indian shachai is the kochas pnimim, which is the avodah now. Now it's not Tchias HaMesim. Now it's in the Kochas Pnimim, this fusion of Gul and Bli Gvul. So the Chayis Kochas Pnimim Shamu Ben Noiser. So that's the Keli, the fusion of the Kochas Makifim with the Kochas Pnimim, Bli Gvul within the Neshama is the Keli, the step and the stage, the link to the ultimate fusion of Eira Soiber with a Guf Gashmi. Yilas Edove Gam Chayis HaGuf Me'asoiber. Lo Yoidel Shachayis HaGuf Yinayli Yosef. The chayis of the guf will be even higher than the neshama, than the chayis of the kochas pnimim get from chayin yichid and now through avodah. Why? Shalachin neshama tinis in Israel guf. Because the shirish of the guf is higher than the overt shirish of the neshama. Explain this once. Doesn't mean the etz, mean the overt shirish, which is chacham datzilus. Then the neshama will be nourished from the guf. Yesh loima, so even that's in brackets, even higher. Not in other words that the guf will mirror what happens to the kochas pnimis of neshama. It's going to be a greater gil in the guf. You can understand it's further extremes. The guf is lower than the kochas pnimis. It's mamish hardcore gashmish dikigvul, and that's going to be animated by kochas makifim by sevev kolalmin. That's even a deeper, richer expression of the fusion of bli gvul and gvul than kochas makifim and kochas pnimis. Is that clear? And now we'll understand further, deeper, more nuanced why tshuva is critical to the Gula HaSiddur. Some the pshat is got to be worthy, got to be zoich. So to be zoich, you sin, clean it up in the tshuva, and then you're zoich to the Gula HaSiddur. So it must be, it's not just clean up your act and now you can get the schar. It's the whole avodah of tshuva that is Gula. Because tshuva is drawing on the anoichi mitzav chayot. Then you saw the going on elevate tshuva. Tshuva is critical. Yidden are redeemed only through tshuva. Lashon Rambam. It kind of begs the question: if you don't sin, you call it zakah. You say don't need tshuva. No, you do. He says right away. Mashiach also lasov tzadikai b'tshuva, and the tzaddik who didn't sin. So he's called Zakai. He also got to do tshuva. That's the big chiddush of Mashiach. They don't teach tzaddikim to do tshuva. Because without tshuva, it's just working only in koich. What's the tzaddik? The tzaddik himself is I love and I fear. He's only koiches pnim. Doesn't need to draw on Kabbalah, Selim, Mesilas Nefesh. He's inspired consciously. So he's missing the whole thing then. So Mashiach is going to teach the tzaddik to do tshuva. I told Deva once said, what does it mean? Close your Gemara, go Mekarav Yid. Go on Shlichus. That's the tshuva of tzaddik. And then be connected to the Eibishter through his tshuva, be inspired by him. Be lifted by him. Because what's tshuva? There's a whole beat of the mind, the kelim reikim, the yoshes cheshich sisoi. So this, I'm sure that tshuva, b'leifich v'ben nimshach chayes gamma kirchas primim. The tzaddik is transformed. He had the gewaltige, was highest levels of seichel and midas, but not high in yichida. Never drew on it because he didn't need it. Life is good. So he's going to teach the tzaddik to do tshuva, that his kirchas primim becomes suffused with the bittul of chaya, and even the higher bittul of yichida, ata b'nayich tichir b'noise. And that's critical to the whole Lasid Love, because that's the Gilui of Lasid Love. It's not the Skavana of the Nisave, the Dir Betachtoinim. Is your tshuva, is your Gilui of your Etzem Anasham. To pervade the Keichas Primim, that's the Tacht. The Tacht is the Keichas Primim, the Banayich, the Av, the Yid, and of course the Guf, as he said, even more so in the whole world. Shleim is the good Hasidah here, but Tchias HaMeisim, the Shleim will be it is permeates the Keichas Makifim permeate the greatest Gvul Guf. So immediately Tshuva precipitates Gvul, because that is Gvul. The Gvul Hamitis Hashem and Adem Mashiach Tzidkenu, with the true complete redemption to Mashiach Tzidkenu, Yova v'Yigoleinu v'Yadechenu, K'memi is not saying to me, come and lead us, K'memi is upright. Proud Jews that say no about Gola, Didan, Mamish. Now a time, Mamish.